Alright, so we're here with Waytt Cheng, Senior Technical Game Designer for Diablo III Reaper of Souls. And it's coming along nicely for launch, it seems.
Yes, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
I've been playing the game every day, and I can't wait for it to come out live.
Right. Whereabouts are you now? How much is left to be done? I mean, it's next month.
Yeah, well, I mean, the beta has been going for a couple months now, and right now we're just putting on the final touches. It's been really exciting time, but right now it's hard for me to play the live game because I know what's coming. We have the patch 2.0 coming just around the corner.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably be playing that for sure, and then we'll just. Right now, we're keeping an eye on a few balance issues, maybe a few class tweaks here and there, but for the most part, we're pretty happy with the product that's going out.
Cool. It seems to me like more than probably ever in Blizzard history, at least, this is a feedback-based development. In the sense that when the initial game released, Diablo III, you got a lot of different feedback from a lot of different players that basically wanted a new Diablo 2. And it seems like you're trying to fill in the gaps as well as bringing new content. So how has that been for you?
Yeah, I think that the feedback process is an interesting one because players will often make a lot of suggestions. And sometimes the suggestions are good. Sometimes the suggestions we don't want to do the way they're presented, and it always represents a good player desire, but sometimes we don't necessarily want to put in exactly what was asked for. For example, we've been on the live, we added things like Paragon levels, and some players would say, "Oh, I wish I could reset my character back to level 1." And like, why do you want to do that? I said, well, maybe they were playing another game where you reset so that you can play and progress again. And maybe you have a bonus the second time you level your character back up to 60. And we said, well, then we don't want to do that. But I do recognize that when you hit level 60, it can feel a little awkward not to be earning experience anymore. So we added the Paragon system instead. And some people asked for things like the Paragon system, and some people didn't. But then even then with the Paragon system, we felt like we could do better because some players would say, oh, I wish that the Paragon was shared across all my characters on an account. That's what we're doing in Reaper of Souls. Other people say, wow, I wish Paragon didn't end. Again, that's another change in Reaper of Souls. Paragon goes on forever. So I think we combine what the players say. We look for the underlying emotions of maybe why they're asking for that feature.
Yeah.
We combine it with our own sense, our vision for the game, look at some data about how players are playing, and then figure out where the game needs to be in the future and then design the features accordingly.
So could you tell us a little bit about the new loot system? How is looting going to be improved this time around?
Yeah, so we have Loot 2.0 coming out in Patch 2.0. Patch 2.0 is really the warm-up patch as we get ready for Reaper of Souls. Patch 2.0 is coming out in a couple of weeks, so all players will benefit from Loot 2.0 whether they buy Reaper of Souls or not. Loot 2.0 is focused around a few key philosophies. Less is more. Less is more means that we drop less items on the ground, but those items make more sense and are more powerful. You're no longer going to get quivers with intelligence. You're no longer get 80% of the items are for a different class. Instead, we look at the class that you're playing and we try to drop more items that are going to be good for you. So less is more. Another one philosophy is rarity equals power. Rarity equals power is the idea that it's okay for an item to be ridiculously powerful as long as it's also ridiculously rare. That way players who find that item can be really excited about that item. Right now, sometimes the items can feel like, there's good items and bad items, but it can feel like, that it's just a sea of average items, and we really want those items that spark the imagination and get players really excited about them.
Yeah. I've been playing the beta for quite a while, and it seems like legendaries drop a lot more now. But then again, I feel like legendaries kind of lose their rareness in a sense. What's the next step? Yeah.
So that's actually one of the really useful aspects. One of the most useful aspects of the beta was tuning the legendary drop rate. We went out the door with a very high legendary drop rate because we wanted to make sure everyone got their hands on these legendaries so they could test them out, try them out. After that initial round, we lowered the legendary drop rate to see kind of like, well, how low can we go without it being, you know, overly punitive? We went, you know, we took it farther than we needed to, and that's really important. It's actually really important to design. You figure out what's too high, what's too low, pick a number in between. So we found out where our too high and too low points are, and then we picked a drop rate in between that we were happy with. You also get legendaries from a lot of sources. At the end of the day, we want to be absolutely sure that all the legendaries come from actually playing the game. You know, it doesn't come from the auction house. You know, you get the best items in the game by going there and playing adventure mode and doing your bounties and conquering Nephilim Rifts. And you get legendary items from Kadala, which is a blood shard vendor. You also get legendary items from completing a set of 5 bounties on an act. You get more legendary items by clearing a Nephilim Rift. And of course, there's always a chance of getting a legendary off the next monster that you kill. Oh, and crafting as well. And there's legendaries that you can get from crafting. So we have all these different sources of legendary items. And over the beta process, we were sort of tuning to make sure that there was a good rate of legendaries from each of these sources.
So finally, could you just talk a little bit about the adventure mode? What's the point of that? What can we expect?
Adventure mode is a way of making the most efficient way to play also a fun one with lots of variety. When a serious gamer approaches a game like Diablo III, often you want to try and maximize your loot per time, or maybe you're trying to earn XP as fast as possible or earn gold as fast as possible. But if that means that you're going to just go to one area of the game and kill the same monsters over and over, or maybe you go to one particular act, a section, clear out all the monsters, and then quit, restart the game, and join and do it again, I mean, it's very effective, and it's fun to be effective, but it can also get very monotonous. So our job as designers is we don't want to fight that instinct. We want to use it to work for us. So we make the most efficient route towards maximizing XP, gold, and legendaries. The most efficient route should also be the most fun route, the one that takes you around the world, lets you see lots of different content, has you doing a variety of activities, and then that's what the bounty system is designed to do. That's what adventure mode is about. A highly replayable system with lots of randomness to add variety.
All right. Thank you very much, and let's hope for a smooth launch.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Nephilim will stop you.